My boyfriend cheated on me with my best friend, then dumped me on my birthday in front of everyone at our favorite brunch spot after giving her the necklace I picked out. I spiraled. I cried. I isolated. But then, I glowed up, leveled up, and walked past them months later looking like a damn goddess, holding hands with the guy they both used to thirst over. Oh, and that necklace? I bought myself a better one. I should have known the second I saw the necklace. Not because it looked off, but because it looked perfect. Too perfect. The kind of thing I would have picked for myself. I was at brunch with Ethan, my boyfriend of almost 2 years, and it was my birthday. We were at the Willow, our spot. The little corner booth where we had our third date, where he told me he loved me for the first time, between bites of French toast and stolen sips of my chai latte. That booth had history, so when he told me we had reservations there, I thought, finally, he's going to propose. I know. Delusional. But you try dating someone for 22 months, constantly talking about the future, only for them to pull you into a nostalgic moment and not expect a little sparkle. Instead, I got betrayal wrapped in a velvet box. He handed it to me with that smug little half smile he always wore when he knew he did something good. Or thought he did. I remember the way his thumb grazed the ribbon as he passed it across the table. I opened it. It was a dainty gold necklace with a small, curved bar, my dream minimalist piece. I literally had one just like it saved in my Etsy cart. My heart actually fluttered. And then he said it. I figured since you talked about this one so much when Ava showed you hers, I'd get you the same style. My stomach sank. Ava. My best friend. Or, I guess, ex-best friend now. Because I'd never shown him the one she wore. And I definitely never talked about wanting it with him. I only showed him the one I had bookmarked during a random night of scrolling while I was curled up on his chest. But he wouldn't have remembered that. Because he wasn't looking at me that night, he was texting her. I didn't say anything right away. I just smiled. Nodded. Put the necklace on, even though my fingers shook. I told myself I was being dramatic. That maybe Ava had just gotten the same style I liked. And he was confused. I mean, they were friends too. I had introduced them. But then the waitress came over with a bottle of rosé and 2 glasses, courtesy of a special someone. She winked. I laughed nervously and asked, "From him?" Even though he was right in front of me. That's when she said it. "Nope." From the stunning brunette, over at the bar, who said, "It's your last birthday together as a single lady." I turned. It was Ava, wearing a black satin dress at 11 a.m., like it was the damn Met Gala, holding her phone, smirking, like she was watching the world burn and sipping on the ashes. My stomach turned into a pit of ice. My mouth went dry. I wanted to scream, "What the hell is she doing here?" But I already knew. Ethan didn't even look surprised. He actually waved at her. That was the moment the ground beneath our booth shattered. I wish I could say I caused a scene. Like I flipped the table, slapped him with the necklace, and walked out with my head held high. But I didn't. I sat there, frozen, like my brain couldn't catch up with what was happening. My birthday, my boyfriend, my best friend, all colliding in one public, humiliating explosion. Ethan leaned back in the booth like he was proud of the chaos he'd orchestrated. He took a slow sip of his mimosa, then said, with zero shame, "I figured you'd want both of us here. You love when your people come together." My jaw actually dropped. I legit checked the table to see if there was a hidden camera somewhere, like I was being pranked. He said it so casually, like this was some weird birthday gift betrayal wrapped in brunch. Then Ava slid into the booth next to him. Just plopped down like she belonged there. Her perfume hit me immediately. That sugary sweet, overcompensating vanilla scent that suddenly made me want to gag. She smiled at me like we were old friends reuniting after a minor tiff. "You look surprised," she said, stirring the straw in her drink. "I told you I had plans this morning." I couldn't even form words. I just blinked at her, hoping someone would explain what the hell was going on. She gestured toward my necklace and said, "Cute, right?" I helped him pick it. That was it. That was the snap. I yanked it off. Not gracefully either, just full-on tugged until the clasp popped, and the chain fell into my lap. Ethan looked annoyed, like I was ruining his big surprise. "You know," he said, rubbing his forehead, "you're kinda making this weird." "Oh, I'm making this weird?" This man had the audacity to cheat on me with my best friend, invite her to my birthday brunch, give me a necklace she picked out after I'd already shown him the one I wanted. And I'm the one making it weird? I stood up. My hands were shaking so badly, I accidentally knocked over my water glass. It shattered on the floor, making half the restaurant go silent. Every face turned to stare. Perfect. I didn't even say anything. I just grabbed my purse, dropped the necklace on the table like a dead snake, and walked the hell out. Heart racing, vision blurry, body numb. I didn't cry until I got to my car. And once I started, I couldn't stop. I sat in my car for over an hour, sobbing like a damn movie cliche. You know that ugly cry where your whole face scrunches up, and you can't breathe through your nose. That was me. Mascara streaked down my cheeks, foundation on my sleeves, a ruined birthday dress clinging to my skin like regret. People passed by. Some glanced at me. One guy even knocked on my window to ask if I was okay. I lied and said I was just dealing with allergies. In February, I didn't go home. I couldn't. My apartment looked like us. Ethan's hoodie was still on the chair. His stupid protein powder was on top of my fridge. There was a half-eaten pizza in the fridge from the night before when we watched Euphoria, and he told me he loved me with a mouthful of pepperoni. So I drove. No plan. No destination. Just drive. Cry. Repeat. I ended up at a CVS parking lot because apparently that's where my rock bottom needed to be. I bought a travel-size pack of tissues, a Red Bull, and some mini powdered donuts I didn't even want. The cashier didn't say a word, just gave me that dead-eyed look of someone who's seen this type of breakdown before. That night, I didn't sleep. I laid on my couch in the dark, scrolling through old texts with Ava, looking for signs, red flags, anything. And oh boy, once you go looking, you find them. The inside jokes she had with Ethan that didn't include me. The time she accidentally posted a blurry pic where his arm was around her shoulder. The weird smirk she gave me when I told her Ethan and I were planning a trip together. I had brushed it all off, trusted her, defended her. I was such a clown. Over the next few days, I ghosted everyone. Didn't respond to texts, missed work, lived on instant ramen and boxed wine. My phone buzzed nonstop at first, mostly from my friends checking in, a few from Ethan, even fewer from Ava. She had the audacity to text me, "Let me explain." Girl. Explain what? How you were screwing my boyfriend, and then decided to show up to my birthday brunch like it was a red carpet event? Delete. Block. Gone. But even after cutting them off, the ache didn't leave. It settled in me like fog. Thick. Lingering. Unshakable. You think you'll be mad when someone betrays you. But the truth is, you're just empty. Hollowed out. And for a while, I stayed like that. You know what's worse than getting cheated on? Getting cheated on and then having to update the group chat about it. I hadn't told the full story yet. Not even to my closest girls. I think part of me was still hoping I'd wake up and it would all be some bad dream. Like Ethan never said those things, Ava never showed up, and I didn't cry in a CVS parking lot while eating powdered donuts like they were painkillers. But after 3 days of silence, my best friend Talia finally snapped. Talia. Okay. You don't get to disappear. What happened? You were so excited for that brunch. Talia's not the kind of friend who lets you spiral alone. She's the kind of friend who will show up at your door with Thai food and crime documentaries and physically drag you into healing. I love her for that. So I typed it all out. The brunch. The necklace. Ava slinking into our booth like some discount Bond villain. The public humiliation. The freaking rosé toast from my ex-best friend. The chat blew up. Fire emojis. All caps. Keyboard smashes. Actual death threats, joking. Mostly. Sam, I swear I will key his car. Rena, I hope she gets a paper cut every time she opens a condom. Honestly, they made me laugh. For the first time in days, I felt less alone. But then, Talia sent this one message that knocked the wind out of me. Talia, you're not mad enough. I blinked at it for a full minute. Not mad enough? I wanted to argue. To say, of course I was mad. But when I thought about it, she was right. I was hurt, devastated, humiliated. But I wasn't angry yet. Not really. Because I hadn't let myself be. I had taken the betrayal like it was something I deserved. Like I should have seen it coming. Like maybe if I had been prettier, louder, quieter, sexier, smarter something, he wouldn't have done it. Talia's message cracked something open in me. Because no, this wasn't on me. I was loyal. I was loving. I was freaking thoughtful. I literally helped Ava pick out her Halloween costume while she was probably planning a sleepover in my boyfriend's bed. That was the night I got angry. Like properly angry. And once that switch flipped, it didn't turn off. Anger's weird. It doesn't come in screaming fits or punching walls. At least not for me. It shows up in little waves. Like when I opened Spotify and realized our playlist was still in my recently played. The one titled His Greatest Hit was me, my dumb little inside joke, because I used to dance around his kitchen to Lizzo while he watched me like I hung the damn stars. I deleted it. Then I went on Instagram and saw they had already posted a story together. I kid you not. 3 days after Brunchageddon, they were clinking glasses on some rooftop bar like their whole thing hadn't been brewed in the darkest corners of betrayal. The caption? Growth looks good on us. Bitch, what? Growth? You cheated on your best friend and her boyfriend, not planted a tree. So I posted a pic too. Not a thirst trap. Not a pity post. Just me, no makeup, hoodie on, hair in a claw clip, sipping my coffee, with a caption that said, "Sometimes things fall apart, so your dumbass can finally see the truth." And the likes? Baby, they rolled in. Even people I barely talked to were DMing me like, "Wait, is this about who I think it's about?" One girl from my econ class straight up sent me a voice note screaming, "Tell me you dragged them without telling me you dragged them." It was petty. It was messy. It was exactly what I needed. Because for once I felt in control of the narrative. I wasn't just the girl who got betrayed on her birthday. I was the girl who clapped back with no tears and a calm middle finger. But the real turning point? That came when I saw him. 2 weeks post-breakup. I had finally convinced myself to crawl out of my apartment and go to a mutual friend's house party. I didn't dress up for him. I dressed up for me. High-waisted jeans that made my ass look phenomenal. A little black crop top, and eyeliner sharp enough to cut through his fragile ego. He walked in with Ava, of course, arm around her waist like he hadn't had his hands all over me less than a month ago. She avoided my gaze. He didn't. He had the nerve to smirk. Like I'd be jealous. Like I'd miss him. And that's when it hit me. I didn't. Not even a little. He wasn't mysterious or deep or emotionally complex. He was just a weak man who couldn't handle a woman who saw through his bullshit. And I saw it now. All of it. So when he came over to talk, I didn't flinch. "You look good," he said, glancing down at my outfit like he had a right. I sipped my drink. I always did. "You just got used to it." His mouth opened, like he wanted to say something clever, but nothing came out. I didn't wait. I turned, walked away, and never looked back. After that party, something inside me shifted. It wasn't even about Ethan or Ava anymore. It was about me, getting myself back. No getting to know the version of me I should have been all along, the one I buried under compromise and emotional labor and giving too many second chances. First order of business? Operation Glow Up. I started hitting the gym not for revenge, but because I wanted to feel like a badass. And okay, maybe a little for revenge. There's nothing quite like blasting Megan Thee Stallion on the treadmill while picturing your ex watching you level up without him. I cut my hair, shoulder-length bob, sleek, clean, zero dead ends, emotional or otherwise, started eating better, sleeping more, journaling, therapy, skincare, all the cliche stuff that actually works when your life's on fire. And people noticed. Talia kept calling it hot girl healing, which honestly felt accurate. My confidence came back, one outfit at a time, one healthy boundary at a time, one hell no text at a time. But not everyone loved this new version of me. Cue Ethan, who decided 3 weeks after the party was the perfect time to slide into my DMs. "You looked amazing at Ella's thing. Not gonna lie, I miss talking to you. Boy, miss talking to me? You cheated on me with my best friend, ruined my birthday, humiliated me in public, and now you miss talking? Try missing me in therapy." I didn't even reply, just reacted to the message with a thumbs down. 2 hours later, he texted again. "I know I messed up. You were my person. I didn't realize what I had." There it was, the classic ex-boyfriend redemption arc. But plot twist, I wasn't interested. Because while he was busy missing me, I was busy not giving a damn. And you wanna know the wildest part? AVA texted too. Dead serious. Out of nowhere, she messaged me some long-ass paragraph that started with, "I know you probably hate me, but I just want to explain what happened." I didn't read past the second sentence. Blocked. Done. I don't negotiate with traitors. Talia made a joke about how my glow-up had a body count, a trail of people trying to crawl back into my life now that I looked and felt untouchable. And yeah, that's exactly what it felt like. Because I wasn't broken anymore. I was better. So here's the part. One, didn't expect the guys started coming out of the woodwork. Ex-flings. High school classmates I hadn't talked to in years. One guy, the first swear, ghosted me after one date back in 2019 suddenly remembered I existed. "Hey stranger, you've been popping up on my feed a lot lately." Yeah, no SHT. Because I look like I pay my taxes early and give amazing head. But also because healing gives you this glow that no amount of highlighter can fake. Confidence just hits different when it comes from within. Still, I wasn't looking for anything serious. I was still building myself back, brick by brick, lip gloss by lip gloss. I was chilling, happy even. But then, there was Luca. I didn't even mean to flirt with him. It started so casual, he replied to a meme I posted. We laughed about some dumb TikTok, and suddenly we were talking every day. Not in a hey what's up dry way either. I'm talking real convos, deep ones, like we actually saw each other. He'd been in my life peripherally for a while. He worked at this small bookstore cafe downtown that Talia and I used to go to during our hot girl coffee book therapy Saturdays. I always thought he was cute, but I figured he was taken or just out of my league. Turns out, he had a quiet crush on me the whole time. One day, he asked if I wanted to grab a drink not as friends, if that's okay. I stared at the message for a full 5 minutes. My stomach was doing that annoying, excited flip thing I hadn't felt since the early days with Ethan, before everything went to hell. I typed out, "Sure, I'd love that." And just like that, I was nervous for the first time in months. Not because I still carried baggage, but because I was finally brave enough to try again. Our first date? Simple. No fancy gimmicks or rooftop cocktails. Just burgers, good beer, and laughing until I forgot to feel scared. Luca wasn't like Ethan. He didn't perform affection like it was some kind of TikTok trend. He didn't talk over me or flirt with other girls when he thought I wasn't looking. He listened. Not like, totally listening, but like he actually cared. After dinner, he walked me to my car. And instead of the awkward, "Should we kiss?" hesitation, he just leaned in gently and whispered, "Can I?" I said yes. And when he kissed me, it didn't feel like a spark. It felt like relief, like finally exhaling after holding your breath for way too long. A couple months passed. I was healing in real time, one Luca date, one therapy session, one playlist cleanse at a time. I started smiling without forcing it, laughing without bitterness. My skin was clearer, my sleep was deeper, and my peace, untouchable. Then, out of nowhere, Talia hit me with, "Okay, real question. How do you feel about throwing yourself a birthday redo?" I blinked at my phone like she'd just suggested I run a marathon in heels. I hadn't even said the word birthday out loud since the incident. The original one still haunted me like a cursed episode of Kitchen Nightmares, but worse because it involved exes, betrayal, and cold scrambled eggs. But Talia wouldn't let it go. "You deserve a do-over. You deserve to take that day back." From them, she was right. And deep down, I knew I couldn't keep letting that awful brunch be the final word on a day that should have been mine. So we planned it. Not some bougie over-the-top revenge party. Just me, a handful of real ones, a rooftop Airbnb, pizza, music, drinks, and a no exes allowed policy so strict it could have been a TSA rule. And I'm telling you, that party healed something in me that therapy hadn't quite reached yet. The second I walked in and saw the fairy lights, the balloons, Talia spelled my name in glitter letters, bless her, and all the people who actually gave a damn about me smiling back, I got a little choked up. Not gonna lie, Luca was there too. He came late, holding this dumb little white box tied with twine. Inside, a necklace. But not that necklace. This one had a tiny moon charm on it. When I asked why, he said, "Because you kept showing up, even when it was dark." Tell me why I had to pretend not to cry while everyone was doing tequila shots around us. I wore it the whole night. We danced. We screamed old school Beyonce. We played flip cup until someone spilled hard seltzer all over the rug. I laughed so hard I nearly peed. At one point, Talia gave a toast that ended with, "To losing losers and finding your damn self." Everyone cheered. And for the first time in months, I didn't feel like the girl who got dumped on her birthday. I felt like the girl who won anyway. So of course the universe had to humble me immediately after that. Like clockwork, 2 days after the party, I ran into Ethan. At all places, the cafe where Luca worked. I swear, I was this close to turning around the second I saw him at the counter, but he spotted me before I could make a clean exit. He was wearing that dumb Patagonia vest he always thought made him look rich, it didn't, and he had the audacity to smile at me like we were cool. "Wow, you still come here? Still come here? Bro, you think I blacklisted every place you might go just because your ego lives on Google Maps?" I raised an eyebrow. "Why wouldn't I?" He shrugged and made a show of sipping his overpriced oat milk flat white. "Dunno. Figured things would be awkward. Oh, honey. For you, maybe." Then, because this man has the self-awareness of a grapefruit, he added, "I've been thinking about you, you know. A lot, actually." I didn't even flinch. "I haven't," I said. You ever watch a man glitch in real life? Because that's what happened. His mouth opened, then closed, then twitched like he was buffering. And that's when Luca stepped out from behind the counter. He came around to hand me my coffee. My real man, with his soft smile and paint-stained hands he'd been doodling on his break, and Ethan saw everything in that 1 second. The hand that grazed mine, the way I looked at Luca, the way Luca looked at me, like I wasn't someone's ex, I was someone's everything. Ethan stiffened. "Didn't know you two were together," he said, voice flat. I just smiled. "You didn't know a lot of things." That's when Luca, king of unbothered energy, chimed in. "Hey man, hope you enjoyed the flat white. Next time, try a decaf." I choked on my laugh. Ethan blinked like he couldn't decide whether to be offended or fake friendly. He went with a little head nod, then left without saying another word. The moment the door swung shut behind him, I finally breathed. Luca leaned in. "You good?" I nodded. "Better than ever." And I meant it. After the coffee shop run-in, I expected some kind of fallout. Like, Ethan would text again. Ava would unblock me just to stir up drama. Maybe I'd spiral. Maybe I'd panic. But nothing. I felt peaceful. And if I'm being petty, and I am watching Ethan walk away, while I stood there with a better man, a better vibe, and a better life, that was the kind of karma money can't buy. But karma wasn't done cooking yet. About a week later, I got tagged in this TikTok. A random girl I didn't know had stitched a "tell me why you'll never trust a friend again" video. And guess who she was talking about? AVA. I watched with my jaw slowly unhinging as this girl detailed how she was roommates with Ava and how Ava had tried to sleep with her situationship too. Apparently, Ava had a habit. A hobby, even. Serial bestie betrayal. The comment section? Unhinged. Other girls started chiming in. Turns out, Ava had been rotating through friend groups like seasonal furniture, leaving chaos and heartbreak in her wake. She'd messed with coworkers, ghosted girls after borrowing clothes, and once allegedly made out with a friend's fiancé at a wedding reception. Suddenly, I wasn't the main character in my own tragedy anymore. I was just one of many episodes in the Ava Show Betrayal Edition. Talia sent me the link with, "Your villain just got a spin-off. How's it feel to be the origin story?" And I cackled. But part of me also felt lighter. Like for so long I had thought I was the fool, the dumb one, the naive one who didn't see the signs. But seeing that thread of Ava burned victims made me realize this wasn't about me lacking something. It was about her never having it. Empathy, loyalty, integrity. Any of the stuff real friends are made of? Ava treated that like cheap jewelry. Tarnishable, replaceable, disposable. And Ethan? He was just another guy, dumb enough to fall for a knockoff and call it gold. Later that night, Luca and I were on my couch watching horror movies. I told him about the TikTok and the Ava meltdown. He shook his head and said, "Imagine letting someone like that fumble you." And when I looked at him, the way he was half smiling at me with popcorn in his lap and zero judgment in his eyes, I finally believed it. She fumbled me. He fumbled me. But I didn't fumble myself. It's wild how people become ghosts before you even bury them. I don't mean that in a poetic, "aw, I miss them" way. I mean literally I'd see Ethan's name pop up on old group texts or shared Spotify playlists and feel nothing, just white noise. He wasn't someone I loved anymore. He was just some guy the first used to know who now haunted my memory like a boring Snapchat filter. Ava? Same. If I ever accidentally landed on her Instagram, yes, I still stalk sometimes, don't judge me, it felt like watching a rerun of a show I used to be obsessed with. Familiar, but empty. A highlight reel built on fake deep captions and borrowed clothes. Meanwhile, I was thriving. Not in the fake influencer way, but in the I genuinely feel at peace waking up way. I was waking up early without snoozing, saying no without guilt, actually feeling present in my own damn life. Luca and I weren't official yet, but it was different this time. No games, no ghosting, just consistency like a slow burning candle that actually lasts, instead of exploding into drama and smoke. One night, we were walking through this little late night market downtown. It was chilly and my fingers were numb, and Luca, in his usual chaotic preparedness, had packed an extra hoodie in his backpack. He handed it to me and said, "You always pretend you're not cold." I laughed and slipped it on. It smelled like cinnamon and safety. As we wandered between booths, we passed this little table selling handmade jewelry. I paused. It wasn't intentional. I just noticed a necklace that caught my eye. Simple silver chain, small pendant, just a single engraved word, enough. Luca must have seen the way I froze, because he came over quietly and asked, "You okay?" I nodded. But the truth was, that one word hit. Enough. Not like settling for enough, but realizing I was. Enough for love, for loyalty, for a relationship that didn't make me question my sanity every other week. I bought the necklace. Didn't even hesitate. Later, when I got home, I took the Moon-Charm one off Luca's gift and layered it with the new one. Together, they looked like a whole story. The girl who survived the dark, and the girl who knew she never needed to beg for light.